Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 5th of March, 2026. Storm in the Teacup, episode 54. I'm starting to lose count every week now. 54? Is it 54? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
It is. We were just saying how tired all of us are. Oh, we're getting too old, gentlemen. We're getting too old.
Oh, I need a nice cup of cocoa. Have an early night.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm more into a Horlicks not a Horlicks. Sorry, what's Ovaltine is what I have.
Oh yeah, the old school. Yeah, the Ovaltine.
Old school, yeah.
Nice.
I never liked any of those drinks. It was always used to be like a malted drink, like a Horlicks or an Ovaltine, or these were the options I was given by my mum, or like hot chocolate for like a bedtime drink, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't particularly like either of them.
Oh, really? See, I think Horlicks, here's my trick, actually. Horlicks with a spoonful of, this is my naughty thing that I do every night because I love it. It's Horlicks with spoonful of chocolate. And it's like drinking Maltesers. It's liquid Maltesers. It's gorgeous.
As much as I love chocolate, drinking chocolate never tasted that good to me. It was never like it's never kind of quite. No. This is not really the chocolate I want to be. I want to be drinking. It doesn't taste that. It doesn't taste enough like it.
I think you've never had Spanish hot chocolate, have you?
Not drinking chocolate. I've had kind of churros, with the chocolate. They have the chocolate sauce with them. That's not really
That's the drinking chocolate. That is, that's the drinking chocolate they drink. Yeah, you make it out of a bar of chocolate, and it's got flour in it as well, which thickens it. Yeah. That stuff.
Yeah,
so that literally is liquid chocolate then.
Yeah, with milk.
Yeah, that's what drinking chocolate should be. But the stuff you used to buy, you used to get it in the tins, and you put the powdered stuff. You put it in when you add your milk or your whatever it is you want to add, your water. Never quite tasted right. Never quite tasted the same.
Now,
but if you melt chocolate and then maybe mix it with some milk so it's a bit you can actually drink it rather than being a kind of too thick. Then that sounds much more.
Yeah, the Spanish chocolate, hot chocolate from the bar is the bomb.
Funnily enough, I'm not really a chocoholic anyway, but I've never liked anything that's flavoured chocolate. Even as a kid, I remember if my mum got that Napoleon ice cream, I'd sort of give my chocolate bit to my brother and he'd give me a little bit. I've never liked anything chocolate flavoured. None of it tastes like chocolate to me. Mousse was another one. Mousse is, it used to make me feel almost sicky.
Mousse is all right. I mean, you used to get I like the way you call it. What did you call it? Neapoland ice cream. Is that
it's my dyslexia. What's it actually called?
Neapolitan. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Napoleon
ice cream. Yeah.
We used to get. I think they still do them now. The club biscuit bars, the chocolate biscuit bars.
Oh yeah, I remember them. Yeah, yeah.
And I remember because when you're a kid and you eat stuff with chocolate, you kind of think chocolate. It's chocolate. But with those, I remember because they used to have different types. I'd have like kind of chocolate orange, chocolate with fruit, chocolate with mint, blah 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 blah. And I remember reading on the packet once. It was a description of the item, and it was like a biscuit with such and such thing with a chocolate flavored coating. And I thought it's not even chocolate. It's a chocolate flavored coating, so they're too tight even to use proper bloody chocolate on it.
Yeah, no.
So I was a bit pissed off about that.
I don't eat lunch at work, but I do munch on a few pieces of the 85% chocolate.
The dark chocolate stuff.
Yeah, really dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's different because that's supposed to be good for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it is. Funnily enough, I bought some of that just a couple of days ago. I bought the 90%, and it doesn't taste. It doesn't taste. It has hardly any sugar in it, and it's a very weird sensation. It's chocolate, but not. It's not sweet. It's really bizarre.
Is it very bitter?
Yeah, it's quite bitter. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't know if I'd like that. It'd have to be a chunk a day, I suppose, just for medicinal purposes. I genuinely don't think I'd like that. I don't know.
No, I mean, if you're into chocolate, then it's not kind of it's you probably won't enjoy it that much because it's not sweet enough.
I'm not into chocolate anyway. Really, genuinely, not really. Unless it's Galaxy. I love a Galaxy bar. Like I'll nibble on but I'm not. I've never really been an overindulgent food for anything. Actually, I'm lucky like that.
Yeah. That's good. Actually,
I get to the point where if I have too much of something, with anything, sweet, sour, anything, I just feel it's like sicky again. I just think, no, I've had enough now. And with chocolate, like I can buy one of those medium-sized bars of the chocolate, and my friend says to me, it's unbelievable. It lasts me about 4 months probably.
Oh, really?
yeah, genuinely. I'll enjoy it every now and then, but I'd say like I think that's why I enjoy it more because I don't eat it that often,
Yeah, that's right. Familiarity breeds contempt, they say. So they say.
Well, too much of anything is going to do that. It's going to have that effect on you, but not to that extent. I would have said not.
If only I was the same with my smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have a voice.
I know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah,
in fact, how are you doing?
Oh man, this is part of the reason I'm feeling so crap.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's it's been like 6 weeks now since I stopped smoking, and it's just had such a knock-on effect to everything else, and it's basically kind of ruined my whole routine. Everything has just been turned upside down. It's like it's not just like, okay, I've stopped smoking and that's that. It's just kind of everything. It's affected everything, and it's doing my head in, to be honest with you.
Have you tried them little Swedish snus pouches or anything?
No,
like
I don't
that?
want to do anything, Viv. I don't want to have any kind of crutch because then you just kind of get dependent on that,
Yeah, true enough.
I mean, it's what has happened.
Toy. It's not even a fidget toy or something.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's unavoidable because you're always going to fall back onto something. The two things which I've kind of fallen back onto are two things which are unavoidable. One is food, and the other is sleep.
Right, I see.
Yeah, and so it's kind of I don't really have a problem with not smoking anymore, but I have a problem with eating and sleeping now.
Yeah,
and of course that affects my whole life. All of that's completely gone haywire now. So it's crazy. I'm really struggling with food at the moment because at first, of course, I just stuffed my face to help me get over all of the withdrawals, and my belly just went, well, what's that? Where did that come from?
And
I thought, oh shit, I've got to try and sort of do something about that now. So I've been trying sort of intermittent fasting and cutting out carbs, and it's trying to get more active and do more exercise. So I'm kind of having this real sort of up and down struggle with food, and of course sleep. One way of kind of trying to get over it all is just have a nap, and then you're not dealing with it. If you're asleep, then it's kind of like an escape from it.
Yeah,
and I'm the sort of person, if I get into bed, I can fall asleep very easily. Once I'm in my own bed, no matter what time of day it is, I can be up for like an hour, 2 hours in the morning and climb back into bed, and I can fall asleep again very easily.
Yeah.
And so
lucky bastard.
I know, that's really lucky.
It's a blessing and a curse, believe me. And so the temptation is to do that, and so that's another thing. That's why I mentioned to you, just one of the reasons why I'm feeling so kind of dozy tonight. It's because I've kind of been sort of on and off sleeping all day. It's been one of those days, So yeah, I'm kind of fighting battles here. I'm not really battling against smoking now. I'm battling against these other things which are kind of taking its place.
Yeah.
So
well, it's better it's better than taking up something like heroin, isn't it? You know? Although although I do hear it's very Moorish.
Oh yeah, nice. No, that's out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah,
people
exactly.
People talk about vaping, and you can do all these other things. You can try the chewing gum, and this. It's like, well, you're still being addicted to nicotine.
Well, no.
And it's kind of pointless in a way, you know.
The only 10 pence worth that I'd throw into it, and it's only because as an ex-alcoholic, I certainly found it very helpful for me, and alcohol is completely different to smoking, so I appreciate that. But that's what got me into art, and so I was just thinking educatedly, how can you stop the smoking stuff? And I suppose now hear me out on this, because I know it sounds like the terrible old man thing, but what about like making a boat out of matchsticks or something like that? Like, I know you're probably giggling, yeah, but something some kind of art thing that's on your table, and that every time you've got a craving, you go, right, fucking sit at the table, glue out, blah blah blah, spend 10 minutes doing it, and you can walk away. Do you get me? Is there something?
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, it's something to occupy your mind, because that's really what a lot of
all it is.
What it is about. Yeah, it's when your mind is idle. That's when you're more susceptible. So no, I totally understand that. But I already have things
Mary
like that.
Rose out of matchsticks or something.
Yeah, or a crossword puzzle of clouds.
Yeah.
No, but I have kind of music stuff that I can get into, you know. So I already have something like that, you know. I already have things like that to distract me.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. You've already got that, so that already takes up a percentage of your time and your brain. I think. Well, I don't know. I think it's trying to replace the time you're losing with the smoking with something else, I suppose, and not something you already do. So that it's, I don't know, like it spices your brain up to at least be interested in it.
Yeah, it is a bit more than that. It's not quite that straightforward, unfortunately.
No, yeah.
It's just a matter of time, really. It's a matter of time. It's all about kind of reprogramming yourself not to have, because a lot of it is psychological. The whole physical thing is pretty much past at this point, and it's all psychological. It's all about being in certain situations, in certain environments, or involved in certain activities where your brain is it kind of links to you smoking while you're doing that or in that place, you know. And so if you do an activity, say for example, when I used to drive, if I always smoked when I was driving, my brain would link those two things together. So if I give up smoking and I drive, then my brain is triggering me to want to smoke, because it's like, oh, this is what you normally do when you do this. It's like so it's kind of breaking those associations.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of time, really, you know. I mean,
patterns.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too bad with that. Not too bad, you know.
Patterns of behaviour, I mean. Patterns of behaviour.
Oh, patterns. Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Patterns.
Yeah, environment and patterns. So it's kind of, I've brought it on myself, and I'm doing it probably the hardest way possible, because I'm not, leaning on anything. Or, I mean, a good way to do it quite often is if you're going away on holiday, if you're having a change of environment, because then there's no association with your brain if you go to a completely new place.
When I moved to New Zealand, it was the best opportunity, and I did take it up. But I had my last cigarette at the airport, flew to New Zealand, and because it's a new environment, everything's different. I found it so easy. I've often said that was the only time I've ever given up smoking, and I think from the moment I got out of the airport, I realised I hadn't thought about a cigarette a year later, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a non-smoker now. But it was because I changed my entire daily routine, and so it was easy for me. So yeah, it's just finding a way of changing the routine, and like you say, you've chose a really difficult one. You're in your flat, and it's you, and you have, and nothing else has changed. But
yeah, exactly. To be quite honest with you, I never thought I'd be able to do it, because I've tried quite a few times. I thought, no, I'm gonna need something to give me a kickstart.
But I was going to contradict what you said. I think actually, if it's 6 weeks, did you say? I mean, that's a long time. I think you said, "Oh, this is the worst way to do it." Actually, this is probably the best way to do it. That you won't change anything. You'll just stop it. And yes, you're having a shitty time at the moment, but maybe, you know, in a month's time, you'll look back and go, "Oh, cool, I haven't actually changed anything. Okay, I've put on a bit of weight and now I need to go for a couple of jogs or walks." But other than that, like putting on a few pounds won't matter in the long run.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you're right. I said it when I said it's the worst. It's kind of probably the torrid that I've put myself through the worst kind of way to do it, but in the long run, it will be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there is apparently with addictions, there is this 3 day, 3 week, 3 month rule. These are the kind of the markers, you know, the marker points. You know, giving up for reaching 3 days, and then reaching 3 weeks, and then reaching 3 months. These are meant to be,
pivotal, changeable. Yeah.
These are, you know, sort of waypoints, if you like. So I've done 3 days and 3 weeks. So see I'll get on for 3 months. But I am starting to feel better. It has been crazy. It has been really, really hellish. But I am starting to have kind of normal days again, which I haven't had a great deal of since I stopped. But it is starting to turn, and it is kind of incentivizing me to do more exercise and watch what I eat. I didn't eat particularly badly, but I never really had to watch too much what I ate, but now I am. It's like, okay, I really do want to actually lose some weight now. So now I really have to a lot more, you know, scrutinize it a lot more.
Have you thought of something like ashwagandha might help? It does help me anyway. I know it calms down my anxiety a lot.
Yeah, I've been taking ashwagandha. I've been taking ashwagandha for the last couple of months. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good.
I have cut back on my supplements though. I stopped taking magnesium and NAC, and I had some ashwagandha left over. Those British supplements, I will say about them, they're very good, but they're whoever counts out their portions is not very accurate.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
I know. I just got a whole batch, and I've noticed that.
You buy several different several different things, like for a 2 month supply, and you get them all, and you start taking them all at the same time, and then when you start running out, you realise you've got loads more left of one than you have of the other. So,
absolutely, I know. Ashwagandha, they seem to give you loads more. I don't know why, but I've got ashwagandha that's left over from the last stack. Because I've got 7,
Exactly.
I've got 7, and I ordered my 7. Arrived yesterday, and a lot had run out. But ashwagandha, what the hell? Why have I got so many left? Don't understand it. You are supposed to take 2, though.
You are, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you take once you start on the ashwagandha, you take 1 for a couple of weeks, then you go on to 2, just because it can upset your digestion.
Well, when I did start taking it, I did notice it made me feel a bit funny. I assumed it was that.
Yeah, it is apparently.
I started taking 2. Yeah, and then I cut back and I felt all right, and then I kind of upped it again after a while.
That's it. That's what they recommend. Yeah.
I've got a quick question for you both. I picked up another 200 Fenbenders. No, not Fenbenders. Oh, sorry, the other one.
Ivermectin.
Yeah. Oh, are we allowed to say?
Ivermectin. Ivermectin.
Makes tin. Yeah. I've got 200 of those, and I've got 200 of the other ones coming soon. My friend's got a skin condition. Do you guys know if Ivor, who makes tin, it's for funguses, it's for parasites. No, sorry. Let me start again. It's for parasites. Will it work for fungal type things as well? Do you guys know?
Yeah. The paste. Yeah. Someone on stand had this. I haven't seen it. Gabby, you know who I mean. Anyway, we went for coffee. She had this weird skin thing come up on her hands, so I I gave her some pastes.
Now, how long? So because I'd looked it up and I thought, yep, it is good for skin conditions. How long would you say to go on it for a week or 2 weeks? Again, I know that none of us are doctors, and if you're listening to this, I'm not claiming to be anything, and we're not throwing things out here like imbeciles. There is some thought going behind this, by the way, people. But how long do you think you'd go for?
Until it clears up. If it doesn't clear up,
until it clears up. Right.
It's topical. It's topical. So you're putting it on your skin. You can't OD on that stuff.
That's right. Yeah, you've got a friend who basically takes a mouthful of every day sort of thing, and he has done for years.
Well, he stopped now, but he was doing a parasite protocol, and he thought, and he had some of the horse one, and he just necked enough for a massive stallion, and he did say that the room, it was like looking at the Northern Lights, and the ceiling was set. But I mean, that's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, I'll just say now for the recording, sorry that you didn't hear any of that, but I've had to cut it out because for legal reasons, I won't be allowed to have that on YouTube. But yeah, you're right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what I want to start with, because last week I mentioned, I think it was last week or it might be in the week before, I mentioned something else that we're not supposed to mention, the Dazzle rip. And I want to just say out there, for anyone that does listen to me and sort of go, I think I've realised that is actually fake. And whether it is or not, I'm just going to put my 10 pence worth in. I've done some research into it, and not only me, it's other cuers that sort of look into it. And there's a lot of evidence to say that we think that part of the Q, or that part of the stuff out there at the moment is possibly completely fake to make Q look like a bunch of crazy people. So yeah, just putting it out there that if you have looked into that, I'd recommend you don't do it anyway, but it could be fake anyway. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's not something I've ever completely gone for in terms of being true. It's always been one of those, it's one of those maybe, one of those very many maybe things.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I think and that is what's that's another part of it is putting all. I see people saying, "Oh yeah, it's this, it's definitely this," and I think putting your eggs in a basket is a silly idea. None of us. There's very few people on the interwebs that I listen to that I think they're competent enough that I actually I trust them more than 50%. But no one knows what's going on with any of this craziness at the moment. So be careful who you listen to. Everyone always says do your own research, but even when you do your own research, it can send you down places where you still at the end of it you sit there on the loo saying, well, I just watched for 2 hours. I wonder if that was real or not.
Yeah. Especially even more so now with the advent of AI. I was just speaking to a friend. Speaking to a friend yesterday, and it's just we are in such deep shit with AI because you cannot trust anything now. Absolutely anything. They can fake anything unless you're actually in the personal vicinity of somebody. And you're speaking to them face to face. Anything you see on your screen could be faked now. AI.
Yeah,
you cannot take any of it for granted as being true. We're so fucked. Everything is fake.
Do you know that thing you posted in our little chat room here? It was the predictions for the next 3 years. It spooked me out in as much as that was an AI program telling a young girl what to do in the future. I find that very, very disturbing. Whether what was said there was real or not, I find it compelling, and I found it interesting enough to be believable. But that all aside, whether it's real or not, even the concept of an AI person telling a young person what to look out for in the future, I find that very disturbing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one of the main reasons I posted that, I mean, I don't like, I don't necessarily believe it. I thought it was interesting, but I thought it would, I thought it would pique the interest because they're talking about creating a parallel society, which is very much what Vivs talks about.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, and her stuff has come up in my feed a couple of times, and I've seen a couple of others, and if I'm not subscribed to her, she comes up into my. Some of them are very dodgy, as in she asks about Trump, she'll ask about anything, but it's almost like she's on her own. She hasn't got any adults, and everything goes through the AI. And she's got quite a few subscribers, quite a few people that listen to her. And as I say, I don't know if you should be worried about it or if I'm just an old fogey who doesn't understand. But to me, it's a bit wary if you're just relying on a computer to tell you the truth of the world. But then you could argue, what did we do before that? We relied on books, and we've all come to the conclusion that most of it, of what we were taught, was lies. So I don't know,
Yeah,
I mean, it could be completely set up anyway. I mean, just because she's playing back, or whoever it is playing back a computerized voice from their phone, doesn't necessarily mean it is anything. It could have been completely set up and pre-programmed before that by them. It may not even be AI. It may be something that she just put in.
Yeah.
So it's all just just ridiculous nonsense at the end of the day.
Well, talking of parallel societies, they are cropping up everywhere, I tell you. There's a new one I've found out today called Community Assembly of the British Isles, and it's basically creating parallel societies, a beautiful way of life for communities in harmony with nature and natural law. And they do say as well that all of this, let me find that section, the website is created and edited. No AI has been used to build this site or create any of the content found herein. So it's a new one that's come up. There's a lot springing up here. So it's not just me.
And I don't think AI should be feared to the point that we extract it from our lives completely. I think there's a great use in AI. I just think we've got to make sure we hold the lead.
Yeah, you've got it's all down to who's in control of it. This is the bottom line, isn't it? And you've got to be able to trust those who hold the reins. And of course, we don't right now. It's impossible to do that right now.
Well,
and it does seem to be flying out of control at the moment. It does seem to be a little bit too, quite easily running away with itself.
Most definitely. I mean, I wrote a short story the other day, and I did use an AI, religious AI sermon generator for Anglican vicars, and it did come up with a beautiful sermon, actually, better than I could have written. But I'm thinking, well, so all these vicars around the country, they think, oh, what shall I write for my Sunday sermon? And within a minute, if you put just the basic outline of what you want, this thing comes up in less than a minute, and you got your sermon. And the vision of old vicars sitting in the vicarage, spending hours on the Sunday sermon of a Saturday night, that's all gone.
Well, I saw, I think it might have been a comment on Substack. I saw somebody posted, and it was like almost a perfect response to AI. They said if somebody can't be bothered to write or record, or if they use AI for whatever they use AI for, if they can't be bothered to do that, to produce that themselves, then why should another human being be bothered to listen to it or to read it?
I read that.
Or to consume it. Oh, was that you? Oh, sorry, Viv.
No, it wasn't me, but I read that. I read it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Which is a very good point. If they can't be bothered to write something, then why should I be bothered to read it?
Exactly.
If it's going to be angry.
Exactly. In the context of the story I wrote, the vicar, woke female vicar, she's drinking prosecco on a Saturday night, and then she realised, oh, damn, I got to write a sermon. So she goes onto the internet. She gets herself a sermon, and it fits with her character. She's woke. She's modern. She's progressive. and she uses AI to generate her sermons. And I use the AI facility. So it's not like I am cheating. At the bottom of the and this is the first time I've ever done this with text. At the bottom of the piece, after it's finished, I've put a full disclosure that the sermon was written by whatever it was, the AI generator. So I think doing that is valid. Martin, what's his name? Martin, we met him, we spoke with him. He uses AI, but he uses it in a legal sense. I know that a couple of our stand people use it to search common law, which is incredibly complex. And so they have a chat. They pay for an AI, a legal AI, and that helps a lot. Digging out old cases, because common law is essentially based on case law. But so it does have its uses, but within the artistic sphere, no, unless you're using it like I used it, no. How dare you write a short story using AI? How very dare you? The whole thing.
It's the death of intelligence and creativity. Surely you
Yeah.
just get. I already see people that you ask them a question and they go, "Oh, let me just ask Grok," or "Let me just ask Google." Now, I do a lot, but there's people that just constantly, and the brain is a muscle like any. If you don't use it, you become dumber and dumber and dumber, as we already have over the last 50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
There is I've been reading about a very disturbing trend which has been happening with AI, and how people are using it as a kind of to help them with analyze personal problems, using it almost as a psychiatrist. Which is leading them down some very dark pathways, even to the point of suicide.
Of course.
Have you read that case?
These people are saying, look, I've got this problem, I've got that problem. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? And basically, AI is, in some cases, kind of saying, well, maybe you should just end it all. It sounds like it's too much for you, or whatever.
Have you read that case this week where this fella, he falls in love with his AI girlfriend, and she starts telling him the weirdest things. She says, if you end it all, you can come and join me immediately. And you're thinking, seriously, what the hell? Have they not built in checks and balances for that kind of thing? That's mental.
No, they have put checks and balances in. That's what they want to happen, mate.
They're doing with AI what they always do most definitely since the beginning of the computer age. It's like they used to release operating systems full of bugs, and they would eventually get ironed out by people discovering them by using them. And the same thing is happening with AI. It's full of bugs. And they're playing catch up with it continuously, because to actually release something which is absolutely perfect and completely have no bugs in it, that they would never do, because by the time they got around to making it perfect, it would be outdated, and they'd have to work on something new. It moves so quickly.
Exactly. So they're using the public as test, it's guinea pigs, as test subjects to test out, rather than putting it through research and development. I know this.
Actually, that leads me on to possibly the biggest story of this week, although there are many. But the world is at war at the moment, and the AI thing. I don't know if I was looking at some stuff today, and I believe last night everyone was on X looking at pictures of Iranian missiles hitting Israel, and they're all fake, they're all AI, and it's only been realised sort of 12 hours later. But these views and these things that had gone out there were getting sort of 100,000 views, 50,000 views. A lot of people are starting to realise the danger and the depth of the AI problem.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
In a way, kind of this might bring about, it won't be the death of the internet, but certain a cooling of the use of the internet, because people just realize they can't trust it anymore in a strange kind of way. It may come round to that, to the internet being so untrustworthy that people just are kind of not going to it so much to get their, their whatever it is, their facts or their news or their info on what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, well, do you know what made me? There's a picture that was going around on that particular subject, and it just reminded me of the Twin Towers. And I just suddenly thought again, because I'm pretty convinced, just like you two, that is not, or the story we were told is not what happened. Maybe it's going to do a full circle to lead us back to the kinds of things that we didn't realize were AI generated many, many years ago, because anything we see now has been done by the military for at least 20, 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, French philosopher John Baudrillard said famously during the Gulf War, he wrote a book. He said something like, I can't remember the title. He said the Gulf War did not happen or does not exist, and he's pointing out, and everyone said, of course it did. He's pointing out that the way it's framed, it's the framing. It's that that so much even back then can be faked. So much you can't rely on your eyes because of at the time we didn't have AI, or maybe perhaps we did, but it's edited. It's all in the editing. It's all in the editing, and it still is to an extent, except you've got the added problem of very, very hyper realistic AI imagery and reportage, and we're adrift, really. That's my stack. We are slowly drifting into uncharted waters. We don't know. We can't. I mean, how do we really know what's actually happening in this conflict that's broken out since Saturday, I believe? How do we know the actual truth of it? People go, oh yeah, but look beyond the superficial, people. Look beyond what you're shown and who's showing you it and why they're showing it and what's the purpose behind this.
Yeah, and pull away from, I think, again, it's another good way of pulling away from this 5 seconds, move on to something else, 5 seconds, move on to something else. You've got to look at what you're looking at and pay attention to it. And I say that because of the ones last night with the missiles. When I was watching them, 80% of them were so obvious, because if you just understand physics a little bit, you knew that what you were seeing couldn't happen. The explosions were too big, or the rocket was flying and suddenly changed direction, or and it's things that you just go, okay, let's slow down, look at this. Oh, okay, that could be right, that could be true. Okay, oh no, that's not. That shows something that was absolutely ridiculous, and most of them were ridiculous, to be honest with you. They were like, there was a couple that even looked like they could be out of a computer game.
Yeah, they probably were. It's not the first time it's been done.
No, yeah.
But no, Viv, I really, I mean, what you said about us being adrift, I think that's very apt. I'm starting to feel that more and more now, because there's so little that we can trust anymore. The natural outcome is feeling like we're becoming detached from everything, because there's nothing we can ground ourselves with anymore.
No.
We're so now dependent and sucked into this online world, and everybody uses it for one thing or another. We're so dependent on it now, and all of a sudden it's like that's now been kind of rendered untrustworthy, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, where do I go now? There is nowhere to go. I'm kind of just feel like I'm floating in, just floating in the middle of it all.
The way to go, as a French anarchist once said, is to become a mixture of the modern and the primitive. And the primitive is in touch with the world as it used to be. When you talk about my bookshelf, I'm reading an amazing book, and it's about someone who goes off to the wilderness in Siberia for 6 months. No one is there. No one is there. And this is why he's done it. He feels lost. You know, he's trying to think, what is actually me? What all this stuff that's been put into me by various forces, good and bad, malign, indifferent. You know, all this rubbish has been flung over me. I need to get rid of it. And he just goes and lives in minus 40 in Siberia by a huge lake.
That reminds me a bit of the Aboriginal walkabout.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they just go walking, and the whole the point is they just keep walking until they meet themselves.
Exactly. And walking is a very strange thing. Walking, have you ever experienced this? It slows time down. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Occasionally, on occasion,
yeah. Life.
I do manage to get up.
yeah, I do a bit of that. I know. I try to avoid it, but walking does slow time down in a weird way. The time changes. You know, if you're heading for somewhere, as opposed to sitting at a desk, or as opposed to other activities or non-activities. When you're walking, time seems to slow down. At least it does for me.
Or sometimes walking as a mode of transport is much more rewarding. Apart from the exercise aspect of it, you just notice much more of your surroundings, as opposed to maybe being in a car.
And you're in control. You're in control.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see, rather than being on my other mode of transport, I do love a train, but you know, I'll get on a bus, and I'm just often find myself getting anxious and just thinking, "Come on, get on with it! These bloody traffic lights, come on!" So walking, you're in much more control, but it's slower, and in that sense, it does slow time down. Because in this age of the study of dromology, which means the subject of speed, things have sped up absolutely incredibly in the last 150 years. You know, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It was. I think I said last week that up to about the 60s, anyone who'd been abroad was always a bit special. He's been over to France or whatever, or even Spain, because it's a real effort. Now, of course, everyone's goes off on their holidays and they get stuck. Of course, most of them are in Dubai now, people. So try to avoid the hub in Dubai. You have a bit of an extended stay.
Yeah, I do wonder about that. I mean, like the pace of life has quickened immensely, as you say. But do we actually get that much more done, that much more efficiently, that much quicker? And if we do, is it a benefit? Is it an overall benefit? I don't think it's a benefit to our quality of life.
Why all the speed? Why all the rush? It takes over 100 years to build a cathedral. Do you think they were in a rush?
No, but
I
guess it all comes down to money in the end, isn't it? Because you never get cathedrals built anymore because that method of construction costs way too much money.
I know.
And the whole speed thing is efficiency. It's about making money.
Yeah, I know.
Sending emails, being able to pick up the phone and send an email or do a Zoom call, you can immediately get things done. Whereas in the old days, it was like, you had to arrange a face-to-face meeting and everyone had to agree to it and you had to travel to the place to meet and it took longer to do it. Everything was in filing cabinets. You had to go through your filing cabinets to find the files.
I think that's great. Why? Because it forces you to think. How many times has anyone sent an email and you click go and you think, oh shit, did I just write what I think I wrote?
Yeah.
But you're writing long form with a pen and sending a letter, and you can read it back and you think, oh dear, no, maybe not.
Well, see, it seems all of these modern things now, which are supposed to make our lives easier actually make us worse at these activities, because they take all, like you say, Viv, they take away the skill, they take away so much of what we needed to put into it to do it. They take all that away, so we don't have to think about it. We don't have to do all these things to make these activities happen, because they're all done for us now.
I mean, they're turning us into techno savages. You know, highly advanced, but primitive.
We're becoming useless. We're becoming more and more useless. I was thinking about this with driving. You know, it's like modern cars now. They are just so. They have all these gadgets, all of these driver aids. They've all got computers in them. They do this for you. They do that for you, and essentially they make you a worse driver, because they're taking away the skill of driving.
Yeah,
parking sensors and all of this sort of stuff. It's and cruise control and anti-lock braking and power steering and the works. You know, it just takes away the skill of driving, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you don't worry about it, so you don't do it. So it's an aspect of driving which has taken away from you, which makes you a worse driver.
Totally. In insurance terms and in the wider application, the term is called moral hazard. And it means that if you've taken out insurance, it will make you indulge in more risky behaviour, because you think, it's all right, I'm covered by that. That'll be all right. And it makes you do risk. It can make you indulge in risky behaviour. It's the same with cars. The car will sort it out. I mean, the number of cars I see hurtling along now, people unconcerned. You know, the car is filled with all these gadgets. You know, and you can't fix it yourself. You can't even go to a garage. You know, you can't pull into a garage and say, "Can you fix this in your Peugeot?" They'll go, "Nah, mate. Sorry, we only do Citroen, or we only do Honda."
Or also, the first thing they do is pull out a laptop. I've got a problem with my car, and they go, "Let me get my laptop." It's like, hold on a minute. What are you fixing, the computer, or are you fixing my car?
Exactly.
Well, it is a computer now. It is a computer.
100%.
That's literally why I came out of the automotive trade, because it was literally what Bronze was saying. I walked into a place, they were pulling out laptops to see the answers to things, and I'd worked in the army with basic engineering and skimming heads and stuff like that. I just didn't have a clue with the modern car world, and that's why I sort of walked away from it, because I felt quite dumb. I think it was one of the first jobs I did, and it turned out to be the fuel management chip. And I was like, well, I didn't know there was such a thing as a fuel management chip. I use carburetors, mate. You know, crazy.
Yeah. You don't see, petrol and oil splattered blokes. You know,
no, you have to be more a technician now. Yeah,
I know. You used to see of a Sunday, you'd see a load of blokes with the cars in the drive, and they're pulling stuff out and reassembling engines and getting oil everywhere. You don't really see that much. I mean, you do on the older cars, but now you're quite right. They're kind of hybrid vehicle computer.
And it's always a computer which goes wrong these days. It's very rarely a mechanical thing.
Oh yeah,
it's always the electrical computer things, which are the main.
And just in case you are too clever and you can do the job, they also then add strange headed bolts, so you have to have a special tool set just to get into the car engine as well.
I know. Why more? Anyone listening, this is about part 40 of my modern life is a bag of shite.
Yeah. Changing the subject completely. Any of you guys catch the whole Jim Carrey award thing recently?
No. Oh God, no. Good God, no.
What happened?
Oh, blimey!
Award shows are just like no. I don't go near award shows at all if I can avoid it.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what it was. It was something to do with in France. It was in French, but Oh, it was this guy, and it's hard to describe unless you'd seen it. But this Jim Carrey basically came up and he'd done some French film, and he's getting the reporters are after him after the show, and Jim Carrey's there and he's talking. It doesn't look like Jim Carrey, it doesn't sound like Jim Carrey, but they sold it as Jim Carrey at the award show. And everyone said, no, that's a mask, or it's not the real person, or it's a clone. All the kinds of things that a lot of people that were in the Q world in 2017 started to saying about certain people. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. And blow me, 2 days later, the news came out and said, oh, it was all a joke. Yeah, that wasn't Jim Carrey. It was this particular actor. It was all a joke for sure. And I thought to myself, no, that wasn't a joke. They've realised that the public are onto him now.
Yep.
I did.
And it turns out that Jim Carrey could have been unalived quite a few years ago when he was on some chat show and basically sort of let out about the Illuminati, and he started to say, was it the John Letterman show? No, because I don't know the name of these people. But anyway, apparently he's not been with us for some time, but I don't know what the truth is with that little bit at the end there. But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
I did come across. Yeah, I did see something about that, and how they were trying to pass it off as saying, it was a social experiment, or they were trying to. Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. Those sorts of things are just kind of pointless distractions these days to me.
I don't think they are. Well, they're not to me, because
I just don't. In this general scheme of things, it's like, what difference does it make?
I don't mind. That's why I look at it, so you don't have to actually. But to me, like I sometimes look at the whole Q thing, and I listen to all the Q anoners and the anoners, sorry, and I think I look at it from such a different point of view, because I already believe in it, because I was in the army for 15 years, and as I've said to many people, I've seen things that still aren't out here at the moment, so I know it's all bullshit sort of thing. So I'm just from that point of view, I was on a different level right from the beginning. But to me, I like to see who's trying to put us down the wrong hole, what psyops are being run, and so the reason that Jim Carrey bit was interesting to me, I know that it's all bullshit, and I just say to myself, okay, so what's being done here? Why did they do it? And even the reason I bring it up is because I thought to myself, it was so obvious that I know I say this a lot, but I think the white hats are in charge. I think a lot of these side tracks, these distractions, as you call them, they are distractions to you and I, because we've been talking about this shit for years. But for a lot of people, they get really into it, and then there's a wall thrown at them that's not even Jim Carrey 2 days later, and they have to question that. So I'm looking at, is it a dark, evil person that did that, or was it another reason to get people to realise that these kinds of things have been going on for a long time? Do you get me?
Yeah, I do get you. What I'd really like to happen is for people to really start questioning what they're watching. Now, I'm not going to the complete stage of total cynicism, but I see so many things, and I think, really, is that really real? Ever since the COVID experiment, I believe that long before that, and you can see this in historical events, that the powers that be have experimented. They're constantly running experiments. So maybe the Jim Carrey thing, Carrey or whatever he's called. I mean, don't forget, he made a film called The Mask. Have you seen how effective mask technology is now? It's unbelievable.
And the Truman Show, probably the biggest giveaway.
And the Truman Show. Indeed. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So,
It's like, I mean, I don't know if either of you, Bronze, might be aware of the name, but are you either of you aware of the name Issac Kappy?
Yeah, I've heard of him, yeah.
He's back. Like, it's really interesting the way these algorithms work, but for some reason,
he die?
Yeah,
Didn't he die?
He threw in, in inverted commas, I've got my hands up, but you can't see them. Yeah, he threw himself off a bridge and hit a truck. Whatever, because that didn't happen. But yeah, I watched him back in the day. Why specifically now is he coming up in all people's feeds? There's hundreds of thousands of people looking at different things about him, and it's just, to me, this again, the plan, whatever the Q plan was, whatever is going on, I personally believe, and it's another one of those. Why is Issac Kappy in the news right now? So now I say to myself, right, he was talking about Tom Hanks, and he was specifically talking about the PDF files in Hollywood. And then I go, oh, hang on. And then you've got Jim Carrey. Do you see that's why it's this kind of conspiratorial mind where I'm putting pins in a board and I'm lining them up with virtual sort of string sort of thing,
Yeah.
My head's one of those messy boards that you see in the crazy conspiratorial films with that crazy person he's got torn up bits of paper all over the wall and bits of string going between them. That's what my head's like with all this stuff.
I just don't have the energy or the inclination to kind of get lost in all of that really anymore. I know what you're saying, and I understand it, and I get it. And it's it could well have meanings relating to other things going on, but to me it's just kind of like, just leave it be. It is what it is, and it is going to be what it is going to be as far as I'm concerned. And like you said, there's loads of people kind of down those rabbit holes and looking into it and speculating, and that kind of filters back to me one way or another at some point anyway. So it's and I've never been that kind of person anyway to really go deep into conspiracies. So to me it's kind of like, yeah, okay, but once again it's like one of those interesting things which I'll kind of just put up on the shelf there, and when something else comes along I can add to it, which I think makes sense, then I'll do that. That's my kind of position on it.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think anything makes sense at the moment. And if I didn't have Q, I think I'd be even more depressed than I am at the moment, because it would be really making no sense to me at the moment.
Well, what do you think, right? I mean, this one, this is something that nobody can ignore right now, is obviously what's going on with Iran, okay? What do you think is the real reason for that? Obviously we get told to the Trump and the White House, and they say we're doing this because of this and we're doing this because of that, and then there's all the other opinions. But I always suspect that we still don't know the real bottom line of why they're doing it and why they're doing it now. Why Trump decided to do that.
Before I answer, what is the reason we've been given?
Well, because Iran was gonna have nuclear weapons.
Oh, of course it is.
And also they sponsored all of these terrorist groups, which create terrorism all around the world. They sponsor and finance them. So yeah, just and of course there is the old thing about Israel as well, the old elephant in the room, Israel.
Okay. Well, first of all, the Iran nuclear thing has been going on for years and years and years. They're close to development. It reminds you a bit of Saddam Hussein has got weapons of mass destruction, and all that, and he never did have. Now, I suppose Iran, I dare say they do sponsor terrorism, but are they as tame for the globalists as are Saudi Arabia, as are Qatar? Are they tamed? Do they need to be tamed and brought into the fold of the New World Order, as some people would call it? Which is the globalist project. Well, the globalist project to create a one world government, essentially. And now, again, we're into conspiracy theory, or are we?
No, we're not. I don't. I think that's. Yeah, I would pretty much go along with that. But you talk about a new world order now, but it looks like there is a new world order being created, but it's not a globalist one necessarily. It's being created by what Trump is doing. And he, by all accounts, seems to have these other, seems to have Qatar, Saudi Arabia, all of these other Middle Eastern, Arab, Muslim countries on board with him. He seems to be, have them on his side. So it's it's very difficult to, and it really does seem like Iran is the only one who's kind of, maybe Turkey are perhaps not on
board.
On board. I mean, who else would there be? Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's one or two others. Pakistan, maybe, I don't know. Maybe not.
Pakistan are well into this. They're well into it with their what's that secret service? They were something to do with 9/11 as well. There was some connection with the with Iran, Afghanistan. I don't know, but I just don't know. There is a big shift coming, of course.
There is, and I think there are. Sorry, you've gone.
What is the end game? That's the question.
I don't know. I think also you can't discount Russia and China with in all of this. What is their part in all of this as well? Because they are. I mean, Russia were traditionally allied with Iran, but they don't really seem to be protecting too much. China, I think, stand to lose quite a lot with Iran being taken out. So I gather from what I've been sort of watching and reading, although of course I don't know. So it's like, what is this? Well, 4D, you're talking about Q and the plan and all that, and saying how if you didn't have that, you're so grateful for that because this kind of gives you a bit of grounding, and that's why I asked. It's like this is a move by Trump. Has this got? How does this fit into the whole Q thing? Has this got, excuse me, some relevance with that? If it does, what is the actual, the real purpose of this?
Exactly. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely the conspiratorial one for that, and so I'll take both reins on that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But as to surmise what the end plan is, I'm not even going to go there because I can go. I have no idea really. But fundamentally, I suppose I remember the whole saving Iran for last.
Iran?
No,
it was Israel. It was Israel.
Israel. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up. I do. Yeah, I always get them two. And that's a bad two to get mixed up, actually. Israel to let's just say Middle East, actually, in fact, saving that for last. So it must mean that something specifically is there, or there is something specific about the Middle East for it to have to be saved till last. Now, you could say it was because before he had to sort out his own country, and then he had to put out into the UN, and then he had to downspeak them, and now it's there. But I don't think that. I think there's more to it. One side of me wants to say, right, is this all about religion? Because we're talking, like, the Middle East is where all of the religious stories start. You've got your Bethlehem, you've got your all of it. I don't even know half of it because I'm not a religious person, but I believe in aliens. I believe in something that's been controlling us for probably since the dawn of humanity, but let's just say for the last couple of 100 years. The Persian Empire was a huge part of the world, and the Persian Empire did amazing things. They're now just a broken country that wants to start wars with people and cut people's heads off and keep women covered up, and it's a completely brutalized new world. And quite clearly, most of the Middle East problems must somehow get organized militarily from Iran, and I don't really trust Netanyahu and his bunch either. So something down there is really, really dodgy. Is that where the first is that where all the proof that God is real and Jesus Christ was actually on the earth? Is there bendable proof, or is there proof of aliens landing on the planet, and is there some kind of proof towards that? Or is it that's where the hub for the CIA, MI5, all these actual, because they're all bullshit really, they all work with each other and con each other, it's all a deep state operation. Is that where it's all run from? Again, I look at the futuristic side of things. I think from a military point of view, they're about 30 years ahead of us. Is there some future tech down there that's now running the world on some look at silver and gold, for instance. Silver and gold the last couple of weeks have been absolutely crazy. Probably more has happened in the last couple of weeks with silver and gold than has happened in the last 50 years. It goes up by 10 pence here, 10 pence there, and blows. No one actually really worries about gold and silver. The last couple of weeks it's gone up by £10, and I'm talking silver, £10 down by £10 up, and gold has been up by about 500 quid, down by 500 quid. Absolute. Then again, if you've got a big company that relies on silver or gold, you're shitting your life away at the moment, because it's costing you twice as much or 3 times as much, and in the next week it's half as much. And how the hell do you account for futures and prospects in the future markets? And and actually, now I've gone off on a sidetrack. The futures market, I don't know if you guys look at stock markets or anything. It's absolutely collapsing. I think there's a major fight between China and America to either cripple the dollar or to go back onto the gold standard, which I think is what Trump's trying to do. And I think the other side are fighting with their algorithms and their futures and the stuff that's not really real, all that stuff that's made up in the stock markets. They're using their tools to fight against whatever's happening there. But coming back to the Middle East, maybe that's where all the servers for some massive bloody worldwide AI program that's actually been there for 100 years. So you asked me, what do I think it's all about? From a less conspiratorial point of view, I'm really hoping, and it's a bit of porn in that way for me, is I think this is going to be the end of war in the Middle East. I think it all revolves around this CIA, MI5, whatever you want to call them, all of the guy just pretending, starting wars, giving us news. We just said you can't trust anything, but I think they've been doing that for 200 years. So they just feed us what they want to feed us to make us go to war, or make us think that there's weapons of mass destruction. So I think Trump. And I think I will shut my mouth in a minute. Sorry, guys. I know I'm rattling on, but you said about, what about Russia and China? To me, that's the biggest indication that this is all bullshit. Well, it's not bullshit. People are dying and rockets are going off, but it's bullshit in as much as we haven't heard a peep out of Russia or China. They're kind of going, yeah, okay. And I don't think either of them would do that, or either of them are doing that even. I don't think that can be true. Russia has such a hand in the Middle East. They would lose a lot politically, and I believe China is completely 100% financially locked into the Middle East. So this could be the ultimate battle for the leader of the world, the superpower to beat all superpowers. Maybe this is the final Russia, China, America war, and we're just kind of picking up on the end pieces of it now. But isn't it interesting that, although how long did it take for the Second World War to actually from the first country going against them to actually the world being at war? How long did that actually take?
Probably from I think 1933, the rise of the NSDAP, the Nazi Party, and then the militarization, and then Sudetenland, and then it just took a while, really.
Over 10 years.
Yeah, over 10 years. Yeah.
See, maybe we're in the end. Maybe
stages, wasn't it?
Yeah, stages. It took
like Sudetenland, then there's the Anschluss of Austria. and then
Yeah.
Sudeten was Czechoslovakia, wasn't it? They did
Yeah.
Alsace Lorraine. They took over some parts that
Yeah.
France.
Yeah,
first of all,
they took that back. Yeah,
and they took Austria.
back. Yeah,
and they took Austria. Then they took parts of Czechoslovakia. I remember they took the whole of Czechoslovakia, and then they did Poland, and that was when everyone just said that's enough.
I suppose that's it. I suppose what I'm trying to say there is it doesn't happen in a couple of weeks. And from Trump first coming down the escalator in 2018, whenever it was, to now, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this. Well, we all believed that Hillary Clinton was going to put us into the Third World War, and that would have been, 4 or 5 years ago. So, yeah, I think there's some kind of, what is this all about? I think this is the end. That's why I say I feel elated. I think this is the end. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It means we'll have years of struggle if the financial world collapses. It means I was going to go on to say, you know, you need to start growing your own food. You need to have a water supply, blah, 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 blah. But I think it's going to be good in as much as hopefully this is the end of whatever the control system is.
Well, I think this is, there's no, if you wanted to get out of this system that we're in, there's no easy way out of it. First of all, we either carry on as we are and suffer under this system and be completely controlled, or we try and break out, and whichever way you try and break out, it's going to be painful. But I mean, regardless of all those kind of peripheral things and conspiratorial things, it's like, how is this in the short term going to end? I mean, there's this
really bad
kind of there's this difference of opinion at the moment about whether it's going to be another forever war, you know, where Western troops get sucked into a ground war and they're there forever, or if it's going to just take a matter of weeks or even months, as Trump is saying, and then it will be done. So, I mean, if that's the case, if the Iranian regime is completely toppled, and they get taken over by a more I don't know what you'd call it, a more democratic regime, how would that affect the world? How would that affect that area in the world?
Well, yeah.
Because I think a lot of funding for terror groups, and especially in the West, does go through Iran. So that would stop, obviously, and so it could change.
Would it?
Well, I said it could. It could. It may just be diverted somewhere else. I think it may have quite a deep impact on the whole of the Islamic belief system.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's one of the reasons, I believe. I mean, Sunni and Shia have been against each other, since the beginning. I mean, Iran is Shia, and Shia and Sunni are loggerheads. So the Shia are basically based in Iran. The Sunni are in the surrounding Middle Eastern countries. There isn't one Islam. There isn't one Ummah. They're composed of various components. So I want to say that Iran is quite. You have a look at some of the videos of street scenes in Iran. It's not like Afghanistan. There are women walking around holding shopping bags, high value goods, hair uncovered, dressed glamorously. We're not talking about Afghanistan, more tribal politics. Shia is different. So we have to really, really bear that in mind. We're not talking about a Sunni country here, like Saudi Arabia, like Iraq, or a country like Syria, which was truly, it was ostensibly secular. It wasn't really, but the president was Alawite, I think, and then there were various groups, Christian groups. I mean, the Sunni want the world to be Sunni, basically.
That's Islam in general. It doesn't matter whether it's Sunni or Shia. They all want that. That is one of the main. main
course,
things
but
that
I mean,
Islam is based on.
that's
So,
right. That's in the same way that as a Christian, I want the whole world to be Christian. Of course, naturally, because it's. Why would you just say, well, we're all right, but it's all relative. No, I don't believe in that relativism. The message of Christ needs to reach the entire world, and that's exactly what the Muslims do. But Sunni and Shia are at loggerheads. That's my point. Really.
No, but there's without, because I don't want to pussyfoot around it. Like in their book, in the Muslim book, it says that everyone else is infidels, and that you are allowed to lie to them, you are allowed to deceive them because they are worthy to be destroyed. That's not written in the Bible of the Christian world.
No.
So yes, Christians want everyone on the planet to be Christian, but there's no written thing in the book that says anyone that's not a Christian, we must destroy them. That's why I would much rather follow. Yeah. So there's a big distinction, because again, is it literally just religion that they have to stop the Muslim religion because it's based on things that aren't very good? And again, I'm not trying to be. It's true. You only have to read the book. It's filled with things that you would think, oh, hang on, I don't like that idea.
Islam is encouraged by Western governments.
Of course it is. It's part of their forever war. And actually, going back to what Bronze said, I'd say it can go one of two ways. If the war is still going on when Trump comes out of power, his legacy is dead. No one will ever follow him, and his next protege won't get voted in, because everyone that's a Q or an Anon or a Trump follower doesn't want return to the old system of a forever war. So I'm going to say very boldly, I'd say this would be over in weeks, because he risks it. Like, he must be in a position where he knows he can do this and he can do it swiftly, because if there's any sniff that this is just another CIA operative, he's fucked. He's fucked.
Well, yeah, I mean, my view is all wars are bankers' wars. At the back, behind all this are people for whom, such as the neocons who disappeared a bit, but I forget who it was. Richard, what's his name? But he talked about creative destruction. Or Paul Wolfowitz, was it? But yes, that's a principle of neoconservatism, which is probably this left and right in that fake binary. So a forever war is a banker's war, because you destroy to create. That's why we've got Build Back Better. That's why England and the other three nations are being destroyed, because then you can build back better.
But what's very interesting when you look at gold and silver and this war, every single time, it's not even an algorithm. It's just every time a war breaks out, gold and silver prices go up. Yeah, and it's not because it's not just a lucky coincidence. It's because when war breaks out, things get more expensive. Shipping, going from country to country, and people still need gold and silver. And actually, in today's world, more so than in yesterday's world, because now in this computer world, we need more gold and silver. What was very interesting was Trump declared war. And the first thing that happened was silver and gold lost loads and loads of money. And having looked into it for the last week online, it looks like Shanghai dumped like 50 million tons of silver and gold into the system, which lowered the price. But they didn't physically, this is where it all gets confusing for me, because none of it makes sense, because none of it's real anyway, but they didn't physically put the gold and silver on the market. This was all in futures and stock market futures, because again, I think the bankers obviously own the world. They plan everything. So they've planned everything to the last dollar. They weren't ready for silver prices to go down. And if you're into futures, which is the total opposite to maybe me and bronze collecting the odd bit of silver. When you're investing in futures, you're investing in what would happen in the future.
Yeah.
If gold and silver suddenly does the exact opposite to what it normally does, all those high earning bankers would have just lost millions, because that's what they do. They trade millions each day. And again, I don't know the ins and outs. I'm just pointing out how interesting it was that gold and silver did exactly the opposite. And I think my next thing would be, I think next week gold and silver will start to go up above what it was before the week, because I think it was all just illegal. The bankers are trying to save themselves.
Yeah.
I take the end of it, you know. Really
I take a contrary view. I think this war is perfect for globalists. Number one, it can lead to it's going to lead to a rocket in fuel prices. Now, for globalists, they want to get rid of they want to get rid of the petrol-based economy. They're basing it all around on renewables because that's much more profitable for them now. Why? Because they don't want to be reliant on Russia and the Middle East. The fuel has rocketed already. It will no doubt go up. Now, they also want to get rid of air travel. They don't want people traveling. They want the world as their own private reserve, with perhaps humans to just be the product. So, you know, they can cut down on air travel. They can say, oh, people won't be traveling, I tell you, after this. No way, not after the disaster of people being stranded and not being able to get back. But also, it can lead to a central bank digital currency. You know, let's stabilize all this. Let's bring some stability into this. And so you'll have, you know, loud voices coming from the international, the Bank of International Settlements, or what are they called? Oh, damn. World Economic Forum. They'll be saying, oh, yes, what we need is, you know, which is the ultimate goal. We know that. They've said it so many times. They want a central bank digital currency leading to a world government. Now, that sounds conspiratorial, but they've said it. They've said it. They keep on saying it. So, you know, behind the scenes, other things are going on, you know, especially for the Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and all those countries, rich countries. They get rid of the Shia. That should be good as well. You know, flood the country with Sunni, get rid of their enemies, the Shia. Continue with the Sunni domination if they can. Iran is different. As I say, it's quite advanced in many ways. You have a look at have a look at the street scenes in Iran. You know, it doesn't look that bad, really. It doesn't look like a third world country at all, in the same way that you look at some countries and you think, oh my God, like Afghanistan, you think, God, blimey, these people are just, whoa, they're almost medieval in some parts. It's not so much.
Well, like I say, don't forget Persia was. Oh, sorry.
Persia,
it really depends what pictures you're looking at, Viv. What source you're seeing them from. Because you can look at pictures which show you that of Iran. You can look at other pictures which show you completely the opposite.
Of course.
This way of life was forced upon them all. Again, you know, it's all CIA crappy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point that I was trying to get to earlier was like, if it's going to be a short conflict and it's going to be over in weeks, who's going to be in control of Iran? Who's going to take power once the Islamic regime is gone?
Yeah,
the people, and I think
the idea is the people, and so, as someone who's not a Democrat, then that will be another just out of the frying pan into the fire. Because as my view of democracy is, it's two wolves and a sheep discussing what to have for dinner.
No, but if you give it back to the people, see again, that's. If he says he's going to give it back to the people, it has to be full-heartedly give it back to the people. If they want to be under communism, they're allowed to do that. If they want to be under something that we've never heard of and something they're new they're going to make, that's up to them. It's they're encouraging
the Kurds. They're encouraging the Kurds arming them and training them to attack as well. So there's going to be factions as well. It's not going to be just, all of a sudden, here you go, Iranian people, here's your country back, everything's fine. There's I'm sure
no,
that
they
this
have to hold them up.
This Islamic regime, for whatever it's been, 47 years, has the same with the Balkans. It covered up a load of conflicts which were there to begin with, but but having this overarching regime controlling it all sort of just suppressed all of that. So once that's taken away, all of these smaller underlying conflicts are probably just going to rise up again. So it's
no, I suppose maybe that's the point, is that it's incumbent on Donald Trump to do the right thing. What is the right thing to do? Well, give it back to the Middle East for them to decide. Then I suppose the answer is, as long as he doesn't say it's going to be America's choice.
No, I think he's made that clear already.
It's a hard one for him, even if he thinks he knows the right way. That's not the right way.
It could still be disastrous, though. It could still be disastrous.
Yeah.
When Tito stopped ruling Yugoslavia, it descended into a horrible civil war.
Yeah, well, the same with Yugoslavia. Once Yugoslavia was disbanded, I mean, you know all about that, Fordy. It could turn into something really chaotic, and it comes back to the whole thing about trusting Q and trusting the plan is also means it kind of goes side by side with trusting Trump, and trusting Trump to know what he's doing here, and to have it all worked out, and to know what he's doing, and to know what the end goal is going to be.
I suppose we shouldn't all say Trump. It's there. If I'm right and it's Q, there's a lot of them. He's just one of them, and I think Putin is another one of them, and I think Xi Jinping is another one of them. So when you look at it like that, again, I know that everything I say is hyperbole. I don't know. It's all in a dream world, really. But if any of that is true, I've just looked down at my computer, and another interesting thing is Russia has just come out and said a couple of days ago that they would be happy to go back onto the dollar. That's, again, I think the gold, the silver, the bankers, the financial world is where the war is right now. It's the bankers that were in charge are getting kicked out of
you could be talking about the London financial system there, Crown, because they have controlled an awful lot of it over the years. That's
what's always bothered me. It's always, right since the beginning of Q, I was all behind it, and this is exciting and everything. And then, I remember one day I sat down and thought, oh crap, we're the bad guys in this storyline.
No, we're not. They are the bad guys. We are the ones suffering under them as well.
Not us personally, but I think England or Britain or whatever the company name for us is, I think a lot of the evil has come from us, from our heads of state, not us.
Oh yeah.
Well, listen, we're time's pushing on, so maybe we should, if we want to cover other things. We've still got Vivs Bookshelf to do, and
oh god, yeah. I mean, this whole Iran thing, though, it's so early. It's a developing situation. I mean, Iran has said they would sink they'll sink any tankers trying to get through the Straits of Hormuz, where a lot of the oil trade flows, where a lot of the boats go through. The tourism trade is in ruins.
Yeah, it's going to affect everything. But I mean, once again, the US has now said they're going to protect tankers going through the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, and you think about tankers in that area. It's also kind of makes me think about the whole Evergreen thing. Do you remember that? It may not just be about things we need being disrupted. It may be about some really horrific things being disrupted as well.
Yeah. So,
it could work both ways.
Yep. It's just very early days. Things are really up in the air. But I'm not too. Unfortunately, I'm not too optimistic about this, because I've seen what's happened in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria. in Yugoslavia, and everywhere that's had regime change, even Afghanistan, who supplied the Mujahideen, who basically bigged them up, supplied them with Stinger missiles, and in an attempt to bring down the Soviet Union, and it succeeded, actually. Brzezinski's grand chessboard came into play, so...
Well, but this is the thing. I think we're all kind of, because we've all seen this now, we've all seen this in recent times, we're all kind of sort of placing our hopes on that maybe this is going to be different this time in some way or another. Because we've been through all that. The last 20, 30 years, we've been through all that. We've seen it. There's been enough criticism of it. Enough people were awake to it and how it was just the wrong thing to do. So for Trump just to sort of be doing the same thing again seems a little bit kind of like, well, I can't quite, I'm sure he's not that stupid. He can't be that stupid, surely.
Yeah, I mean, it's chaotic. What we need is a world government to just sort all this out, really. That's the best thing, isn't it?
Yeah. With you in charge, Viv, yeah? How about that?
No, but I'm sure the United Nations will come up with a plan.
United Nations is dying anyway, so.
Well, that's what they say.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe there is going to be a new world order, but not quite the one that was not the globalist one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And,
sure.
we probably will have a new financial system, and it may well be digital, but it may be backed by something tangible like, gold and silver, precious metals.
Yeah.
It may actually be a decent one, something which isn't planned to enslave us.
Yeah.
But to help us. You never know.
Yeah. Well, on that optimistic note,
I was going to say, I just want to close the subject on one word. I've had to write it in there because I can't say the word, but I'm going to spell it out and maybe one of you two can say what the pronunciation is. But I want to leave you with this word, which is ANTHROPOENTROPOESM.
Anthropomorphism.
Thank you. That's the word I'm going to leave you with. If anyone wants to have a look at what that word means, that'll that's how I sum up what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't think we are is the answer to that word. I don't think we are. Anyone got any jokes then? In fact, we haven't even heard what Viv's been reading this week.
Oh, very quickly. I'm reading a book called Consolation of the Forest. It's by a French geezer called Sylvain Tesson. He goes to live in Siberia for 6 months. Just started it. Can't put it down. It's. It shows how influenced I am by what I read. But I've been today looking up remote island retreats in the islands of Scotland and just thinking, God,
really?
Yeah,
I wonder why you've been looking at that.
I could just do with being nowhere near people, just the sea and a little bothy or a little cabin for about a month, and just nobody visiting me, a stock of food to last a month, a fishing line, to catch food, so. Yeah, that's basically what he's talking about, and I just love the whole book. He's living in 40 degrees freezing, minus 40 freezing temperatures. He's got a little cabin. There's no one around him. He has to walk. It takes him a day to walk to his neighbour.
Sounds lovely, man. Sounds lovely.
Yeah. That's the one for me. I'm sick of people at the moment because. I love humanity. It's people I have problems with.
We love all of you. We thank you for listening to us, each and every one of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you had to talk to lunatics every day like I do, and especially as it's a full moon, when all the maniacs come out, then, dear. But
Kenny Everett would have fitted in so well in this crazy world.
He would. He had a really crazy view of life, didn't he, really?
A lot of crazy stuff, yeah. Whose choice? Oh, it was Bronze that brought this guy up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anything more to add to what we've already said about him?
Yeah, he did get sacked a lot, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, from almost everywhere he worked.
Oh.
I think he was just too edgy for them. He wasn't really edgy. He was just kind of a bit risque, wasn't he? He's over the top.
Really,
or was he self-opinionated and pushy? I don't know. There's a lot of proof to say that he was a bit of a arrogant twat as well, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it might have been a bit of both, to be fair.
I reckon. I mean, you know, a lot of the jokes were really, really close to the edge. You know, really close to the edge. Some of the stuff he said. So I just don't know. Yeah.
What close to the edge, as in risque sort of stuff?
Yeah, risque, and some of the jokes were, you know, it was. I mean, he was quite right wing, but he just criticised everyone basically. He got up everyone's, you know.
I like that.
Got up to everyone's nose, I think. Yeah,
I think that's good. I like people who do that.
Yeah, sure.
No, nothing's sacred. Nobody's safe. You know, you're all up for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I think South Park are quite a lot like that, aren't they? They just have a go at anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they do, don't they? They do. Yeah.
It's funny because it reminds me of Spitting Image, and I always say that's how I got into politics. They took the piss out of every single politician, and they had a different piss take for every single one. And I actually learned that before I understood what politics was, I understood, you know, different members just because of Spitting Image.
Yeah,
funnily enough, right. about Spitting Image, the two main guys who created it were really quite hard left wingers. They were sort of Marxists.
Were they really?
They were, yeah. They were very left wing, those two guys. So fair dues to them, because they did, you know, they didn't just, because it's during the time of Thatcher as well. So there's a load of stuff on Thatcher all the time, and her
always,
stuff. But they did take the piss out of Labour quite a lot as well. Roy Hattersley, you know, Roy Hattersley always spitting, like just.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, just loads of like spit and saliva every time he spoke coming out of his mouth and all of that sort of stuff. It was quite merciless. But
oh yeah.
And Kenny Everett was a fan of Margaret Thatcher. He was.
Yeah.
But
then again, one of the jokes I believe that got him banned was this one. When England was a kingdom, we had a king. When we were an empire, we had an emperor. Now we're a country, and we have Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. that joke still works for any leader. It's great.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? You can change it around.
Mm.
And actually, we didn't even touch, and we haven't got time to because we're going to leave it now. But I just want to say the ridiculousness of our leader. Can we even call him a leader? He's definitely the mouldiest apple in the fucking lot. In the
oh yeah,
absolute.
Absolutely.
He looks scared. He looks scared now.
He's out of step. The only reason he's still there is because he's been told to hang on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Just like everything he does, he's been told to do. Because it's just he's just getting so mercilessly just humiliated at every turn now. Whether it's here at home or on the world stage, everything is just a disaster for him.
What's the word?
Still there. If anyone had any integrity, they would have resigned by now.
Yeah,
if had any self-worth, self-respect, or integrity, but he's still there for some reason, which obviously he's been told.
Word Trump used to describe him this week.
Well, he said it wasn't Churchill. It wasn't exactly Churchill. Isn't that what he said?
No, he said that, but also he said something like he's useless or stupid. There was a word he used that I just thought was perfect. I can't remember what word he used the other day.
Yeah. I just see just quickly. It looks like Trump's looking to sack Kristi Noem as the head of Homeland Security.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, that's what I'm reading. Going to replace him with Mark Wayne Mullis. I think the guy's name is Mullins or Mullis. Oh yeah, it's a bit strange that one. But
interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I think the weekend will be. I think Starmer's been outplayed massively by Trump, and I think he looked really scared or frightened. I think he's going to be saying, "Damn, we've been outplayed." I bet he's shitting himself. Yeah.
I don't see how he can even think that he still has a future in this country as any a political figure to be taken seriously. He's just completely finished. Completely.
Yeah.
As I said, I can't even believe he's still there. It's just like, what are you still doing there? You've got no shame. You've got no self-respect at all.
All of us have been completely wrong thinking he's going to be gone by now. He's still there. He's still there.
Yeah. You know? But like I said, that he's hanging on for something. He's being told to hang on for something or other.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's just these elections. We've got elections coming up in May, haven't we? Maybe he's trying to hang on to that because he will, because Labour are going to get absolutely battered one way or another in those elections, and he's going to take the fall for it. Whereas if they install a new leader before then, they're still going to get battered, and then it's going to reflect badly on that new leader, which won't be a good start for them. You know, so maybe it's kind of a tactical thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly right. I believe. So he can't leave now. He will be battered. My concern is that the absolute box of mad frogs called the Green Party.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what?
Who let the lunatics out of the asylum? Really, that's really what it is. It really is that. Yeah. The lunatics escaped from the asylum. It's incredible.
I really underestimated them. I think it was last week when I said something about who I thought was going to be up in 2029, and I said, "Oh, the Greens have been nothing," and both of you said, "Oh," and yeah, I totally didn't realise, totally underestimated that they do have a bit of a calling here, don't they?
Yeah, I can see at this present stage, but things change day by day, that we'll have a Green Party Labour Party coalition in 2029.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'll be even worse than what we got now.
Yeah, that's right.
So bad. But yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, because that one particular election that they won recently was kind of well tailored to them, and they really milked it, and they really, they really bent the rules, and probably there was some cheating going on with this whole what they call family voting, which is illegal, and they completely went out and courted the Muslim vote because they were they were just getting them from Labour, they were just taking them from Labour. And they're just being used. But this is not going to go nationwide, this same reaction, I think, for the Greens. I think they're going to find it a lot harder to replicate that success nationally. There may be in one or two other places, but nationally, I think they're not going to be the same as they were there.
Well, it could be a lot more dangerous in 2029. It could come down to, let's say it comes down to the Greens or Restore Britain. It could be literally a Muslim versus Christian vote. It could be sort of that side of things.
Well, this is the criticism that is leveled at them. They're turning it into sectarian voting. It's not about, the whole reasons for voting are now swapping, changing, which is very, very, it's really concerning. Definitely.
All three of us are old enough to remember how bad it was when we had problems with Northern Ireland on the streets of England, and imagine that 10 times worse, because that's the sort of situation we're looking at. We shouldn't end on a downer, but yeah, it's not flowers and roses, that's for sure.
No. There's so many variables still. There's so many variables. reform have got their part to play. You know, it's not just going to advance. Don't seem to really be doing anything at the moment, but they could still come to the fore. They could have a say in it as well. So you got the Greens, Labour, even the Tories. Still, you know, they're not completely dead yet.
Was it 124 votes? Advance got. Was it? Am I wrong with
I don't know.
saying that?
Something tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they didn't get much at all.
It was literally in the hundreds. Yeah.
And the Conservatives lost their deposit as well. They did so badly.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh dear, how sad. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going to choose the next comedian? Apart from nobody choose. Please don't anyone choose Keir Starmer. His jokes are terrible.
No, he's not dead yet. Well, he's almost dead, but not yet.
Yeah, well, he might be dead. I don't know. He looks dead.
He's got dead eyes, isn't he?
He's got terrible dead eyes.
Yeah.
I think it's 4D's turn, isn't it?
Oh, is it back to me already? Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
I'll have a think.
I'm prepared, but you got a week.
100%.
You got a week.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. They do.
Yeah. It'll be all right.
It won't kill me.
Nah.
Mm.
Oh. You got to laugh, though. You got to laugh, haven't you?
Yeah.
Blimey. What a mental world. You know, did something happen when they turned on the CERN Large Hadron Collider? They put us into an alternative universe or something.
Yeah, I think they knocked an electron out and we slipped into an alternate reality. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Electron got knocked out.
Well, it's not that crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you got to laugh at life, as my old mum used to say. Laugh at life, or life will laugh at you.
Mm.
Oh, and very, very quickly as well, did you see Liam Tufts do an interview with Andrew Bridgen? That was worth watching.
Oh, yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah, Andrew Bridgen's really good value, actually.
Very good, yeah.
He covers pretty much everything these days. He talks about the whole lot. I'm surprised I haven't taken him out yet, to be honest with you.
He's not an MP anymore, is he? Is he an MP?
No,
I don't think he is. No, he's been chucked out of the whole system, hasn't he? They tried to bankrupt him. They took his house off him. I think he's had a really, really rough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sounds right.
Yeah, he's still battling on. So yeah, I didn't watch it all. I watched about half of it, but it's kind of pretty much the same kind of thing he's been saying for a while now.
It is. Yeah, true. I suppose it's just going out to a different audience this time.
Well, yeah, he's just sort of bringing it up to date, I suppose. But
they've been interviewing him on UK Column as well. He's got a few segments on UK Column.
Yeah, there was Will Colesall interviewed him a while back now, probably about 6 months ago. So yeah, I saw that, and he's done kind of the same kind of interview with Liam Tufts. It's kind of the same sort of thing what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And Tommy Robinson was only up on InfoWars meeting Big Crazy
Jones.
Yeah, brilliant. Them two together. I just thought it was hilarious.
I haven't seen that yet. I saw him. He met Russell Brand. That was.
That's right. Yes, that was a couple of days ago. Yes, yeah.
Unlikely bedfellows there. So. But yeah, he's nailing down some pretty interesting people over there. Well, he's certainly making the most of his time, isn't he?
Yeah.
But let's remain optimistic. I think that's probably the best.
Oh yeah, we have to, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I am genuinely, in the long run, I am, because as I say, I'm the Q guy. I believe in that, so I am optimistic that no matter how bad it's getting, it's for a better purpose. It's for a better reason. Let's all hope. As I think it's Viv that says, look on the bright side, or the positive mental attitude. Sorry, it's that idea.
Get your PMA.
Well, let's just hope that the people who we're putting our trust in, who are kind of guiding us down this path, are genuine and actually will get it done. You know.
Yeah. Well.
So our trust has not been displaced, and our hopes have not been disrespected, not being used. So yeah. There's one thing though,
gentlemen, you don't keep Englanders down that long.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
It'll all be good. Well, yeah. Listen, gentlemen, I'm going to go and relieve my bladder. So, have a good week.
All right, then. All right. Cheers. Bless you both. Bless us all, really. I suppose. Yeah.
Blessed are the meek. Yeah. All right, guys.
Blessed the meat for another week. All right, all the best. Cheers.
See you later.
Yeah.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
Well, we don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. Hold on a second.
À ma fille Jane et à mon petit-fils Jackson, je vous aime maintenant et pour toujours. Merci à ma sublime compagnie, Mina. Je t'aime, Mina.
I have to pinch myself, honestly. I mean, I'm the proof that, you know, manifestation, you know, is real. There, you know, I sat up on Mulholland Drive looking out at Lancashire Boulevard and dreaming up my life as it was going to be. And I was going to be one of the biggest actors in the world, and I was going to do movies that reintroduced themselves to several generations of people.